Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we are going to build something super useful for any application that deals with online payments. We are going to create a payment gateway using Node.js and Stripe. So if you are unfamiliar with Stripe, it's one of the most popular payment processors out there, allowing you to handle secure payments with ease, whether you're building a small e-commerce site or scaling up a large platform. Stripe provides you with the tools to accept payments globally. So what are you going to cover in this tutorial? We'll be covering uh, setting up a basic Node.js server. Then we can integrate Stripe to handle payments. We're going to build some basic front end where users can securely input their payment details. I'll walk you through step by step from setting up your Stripe account to writing code for both backend and front end. By the end, you'll have a fully functional payment system that you can integrate into your projects. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so here, if as you can see, I have created a folder here for my payment gateway functionality. So now we will create that one by one. So first of all, what we need to do, we'll need to make sure that we have all of our dependencies that we need for this particular implementation. So I'm just going to go to terminal and click on new terminal. After that, so first of all, we will need to initialize our Node.js project, and we can do it from npm init -y. Once we have done that, it means the Node.js project has been initialized now. Now we will have to make sure that we install our Express that will be used for server, Stripe, Stripe library, body parser, and .env. We need .env to store our API keys in our folder. So if we do this, npm install Express, and then we need Stripe, and we need body parser because all of our data is going to be in JSON format, and then .env. So it's gonna take some time to load, and once it is done loading, we can start coding our thing. Yeah. So as you can see that we have node modules and package log.json, package.json, everything's been added in our folder. That means we are good to go. We have downloaded all of our dependencies. So now I'm going to go and create my server file. Our next task is to our next task is to create the create the dependencies. I mean, create the imports for our dependencies. So first of all, we are going to import express. So it is going to be const express equals to require express. So now we have imported the express. Now we'll have to import body parser. So whatever we have downloaded, ultimately we'll have to import it, right? So require body parser, and then what is the next step? Uh, Obviously we'll have to do this require .env, and then we will have to config that. Uh, so it could be this. Okay, so now it is configured to take any sort of environment file. Okay, so now we'll have to import Stripe, and then require Stripe. Then we'll have to make sure that it is taking the key that we have stored in our environment environment file .env file. So let's just assume that we have stored it in the variable called Stripe secret key. So we can we can store it something like that. Okay. So now const app is equals to express. So now in this way we have initialized our application. Now we'll have to also define the port. So let's say I'm just using port 5000, which is common in most of the cases, and then I need require path so that it could so that I could go and find out the file where my index.html index.html relies, and then we will have to do app.use body parser.json. Okay, and then we are just creating a middlewares here so that it doesn't get stuck in between. So URL extended true. Okay. So now we have everything set up. Now all we have to do is we will have to define our routes. So we're just going to need two routes here. One will be the get route and one will be the post route. So get route will be to just basically load the front end file, the index.html file that we're going to create. In index.html file, we are just going to include a basic form where we'll have to fill out the credit card details or any debit card details. And once we have implemented that, user can just add in all their details and then they'll be able to do the payment. Okay. So now we can do app.get, and that could be just the default route because we only need one page in this web server, right? And then it is going to take two things from here, that is request and response. Okay, request and response. So now it is going to be something like this, and then it could send the file. I would go and identify which file is that. So that is dir name, directory name, and then index.html. So it's just going to go and find out the root, just go and find out the index.html that is there in the root directory. So this is our get route. Now we'll have to implement the post route, which is going to be the most important thing in our implementation. So we will just do the similar thing here to initialize this. And then we can name it something like create payment intent. So this is just the name of our post route, and then it could be async, request, and response. Okay, I hope it makes sense till here. And then we are just going to create try catch statements here so that we can also know if it throws if it throws some sort of error. Okay, so const amount is equals to request.body. So user is going to input the amount from the web page, and then we will be able to know, okay, how much this guy needs to pay. And then once they have entered the amount, what we'll have to do, we'll have to create a payment intent with specified amount. So let's say I have entered that I want to pay $1,000 uh, to this website or to this host, whatever that is. Once I have entered the $1,000 amount, it is going to create the payment intent with that $1,000 amount. So once I enter all of my credit card details, it's gonna go and then okay, we have $1,000 payment intent created with this form, and then once we click submit, it's just going to pay whatever account is linked to the website. It is going to pay to whatever account is linked to the website, and then that will be our functionality. So const payment intent is equals to await stripe dot payment intent intents dot create. So it is just going to be something like some object kind of thing, which would include amount, which is this, and then currency. So right now, I'm just making sure that it only accepts USD, but you can set it for any currency you would like. So payment method types, then it's going to go and create card. Okay, so we'll have to set the payment method types to card so that it can accept all the payments that are done with card. Okay, now once we have done that, it is going to send back to the client. It is going to send back to the client secret, and if it is successful, it is going to send 200 code with client secret payment intent dot client secret. Okay, and if that is not the case, that means if there is some sort of error in it, it is just going to throw error, and then that will have to include it in a catch statement. Okay, so I think I messed up a little here in the I think I messed up a little bit here in the syntax. Okay, I think I can just add the catch statements here, and if it is not true, or if it is throwing error in any sort of scenario, it is just going to be go into this catch statement, and it will show what the error message is. Okay, so it will be here. Yeah. So now, as you can see, that we have created the basic functionality in our server.js that includes our post route, that includes a get route. Basically, what it is going to do, it is going to catch the amount, or is going to get the amount whatever user has entered into the website. And once user have entered the amount in the website, it is going to create a payment intent object. What is our payment intent object? It contains amount, it contains currency, and it contains the method types. Method type, we have already set it up as a card. And if it is not the case, or if it is throwing any sort of error, it is just going to go into the catch statement, and it is going to throw some error, and we'll be able to know what the error is by just looking at the error message. Okay, so now I will go here and I will create the basic main function line so that we can run this port and arrow function, of course, and then console.log just to make sure we know it is running. Server is running on port 5000 in this case. Then we just need semicolon here. Okay, so this is my server.js. I have already created the index.html file. I'm not going to waste the time to code the HTML file again. I'm just going to copy paste it, and then I'm just going to go through each line so that you can understand what exactly is going on in there. Here's my index.html file. I'm just going to go and create a new file here called index.html. And so in this way, we will have the index.html file here. Yeah, before we go there, we also have to make sure that we create our account on Stripe so that we can get the very important API keys, because without API keys, it is not possible for us to implement this functionality. So what are we going to do is we'll just have to go to stripe.com, and I have already created my account here. As you can see, I've already created my account here. You can also do that. Create your account, and it will redirect you to the dashboard. And if it doesn't redirect you, just enter dashboard.stripe.com. It will take you to this page. What are you going to do? You're going to go into this developers tab, and you're going to click on API keys, and you have these publishable keys and secret keys. We need both of them. So secret key, what are we going to do? It is going to be our confidential key. So we are going to store it in our .env file, and the publishable key that we have, we're going to store it in our JavaScript file. So both the keys are very important here. So first of all, uh, let's first of all store the secret key in our .env file. So if I go here and create the file called .env, and once I go there, I will have to create a variable called stripe secret key. If you guys remember, uh, we just created a reference to this thing in our server.js file. So I'm just going to click on stripe secret key, and then I'm going to add my stripe key here. I'm just going to copy that from the stripe dashboard. I'm just going to be, okay, I want to reveal that. I want to click to copy. And once I do this, I will just have to store it here. So now my stripe secret key has been stored here. And if you go to index.html, we are going to need publishable key as well. So maybe this could be the same key, but just to make sure I don't mess up anything, I'm going to copy it and paste it again. Okay. So now we'll go to our JavaScript. So if you can see that this line initializes the stripe with publishable key provided. The key allows us the front end to securely communicate with Stripe's API. This is a test key, and you'll need to replace it with your actual publishable key for production. And once you have done that, you'll have to create an instance for Stripe elements. Elements creates an instance of Stripe elements, which is a pre-built UI component used to securely capture payment card information without handling sensitive card details directly. Then you'll have to create a card element that represents a secure input field for collecting card details like card number, expiration, and CVC. Stripe automatically applies formatting and validation. That's the really good thing that they offer. We don't have to worry about that. Stripe takes care of it. Now, card.mount card element. This mounts the card element to the HTML div that we have just created. So that is just the basic thing that we're gonna need. Now we have to handle the form submission, which attaches an event listener to the pay button. Whenever the button is clicked, the function will get triggered. Uh, the free this line const amount equals to document.getElement by ID. This retrieves the value entered in the amount field. It will multiply it by 100 to convert dollars into the cents. And then the last thing we'll have to do, we'll have to make a request to create a payment intent. Fetch is going to send a post request to your backend at this route that we have created in our server.js file. The amount in cents is sent as a JSON data in the body of the request, and then the backend will use this amount to create a payment intent in Stripe. Now, once we have done that, we'll have to extract the client secret. This line is extract the client secret from the response sent by your server. This client secret is a unique key associated with a payment intent, which allows you to securely confirm the payment. Once you have done that, you'll have to confirm the card payment using the client secret again. And it's just going to confirm the payment with client secret and card details provided by the user. The card object is passed as a payment method. And then the last lines will be just the error handlings. And once you have done all of that, you will be good to go, and you can go ahead and run the server. Now I'm going to just run the server. I'm just going to click on node server.js. Once I've done that, we're just going to type the 7 things. As you can see that it is asking for me to make a payment. We will have to enter the amounts. Enter the cents, and then it's going to be something like this. Now Stripe has its testing credit card number. So if we just want to make it for learning purposes, you can just add 42424242424242. This is just the uh, demo credit card that we have, that Stripe has created. Okay, so 0728, let's say, and then CVC, you can add whatever you want, 666, and then let's say I'm adding my zip code as 30. Once I've done this, I'm just going to click on payment. And as you can see that it is showing me that payment has been successful. That means our code is working perfectly fine. Now, if you are implementing this in a real world scenario, you'll probably not add the cents thing. You'll just convert it directly into the dollars. Stripe has it by default in cents, but you can also convert it into dollars by just multiplying it into the 100. But this was just for the learning purposes, and I hope uh, you guys find it helpful. And that was everything from my side. So thank you so much for watching.